Welcome, Libra Seeker, to the Existential Shift. If you're new, my name is Morgane. Yes. How are you guys doing? How was May? Some of you had it amazing. Some of you had it horrible. I don't think anybody had it in the middle, honestly. Some of us have it both amazing and horrible in different fields. Nothing in the middle. It wasn't just okay, right? High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. What do you know? You know something. You know something and you're not telling. You choose to keep it. You choose to keep it for now. Unlike what you're used to doing, which is being very open and expressive and communicative and putting your cards on the table, now you hold them close to your chest. Something about the way you treat energy and words has changed or is changing or is going to throughout June. Don't forget, this is for the next month, so come back to this reading in 2-3 weeks from now. If it echoes, if you love it, bookmark it, come back to it. What used to be constantly outer is now more inner. And I feel like I'm referring to, it's not about what you give or don't give. It's literally about what you tell, what you don't tell, what you show, what you don't show. You are a little bit more reserved and private, but not from insecurity or shyness. No. You just learned something about how energy works. Something flipped. No. You learned something about how energy works. You learned that once you put the energy out there, by default, starts to expand and dilute. It also starts creating, right? But once it's out there, it can be grabbed, it can be dissolved. Many infinite things can happen to it. So you want to make sure that whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're feeling, whatever it is you're thinking, whatever it is you're working on, the new relationship, the project potential, whatever this is, you want to make sure that when you put it out there, A, it's ready, and B, it reaches the right people that won't grab and disperse, rather honor and possibly grow. Because it all depends on what the energy meets when it comes out of you. If it meets someone who isn't happy for you, it can very much so weaken it. If it meets someone who is very happy for you, it can increase it. And you don't want to take that risk until whatever it is that you're holding your cards to your chest, close to your chest, in regards to, is strong enough, rooted enough, strong enough, again, to hold itself in the face of not so allowing / positive energies or people. I don't want to go to, oh, you're trying to avoid the evil eye. It's not that. It's not necessarily, oh, if I'll tell them they'll have ill intent. It's not that. It's just the nature of energy. You've learned something about it. And I think you've learned the hard way because you're so open, right? You're so open-hearted and you want to bounce off ideas and you want to share. And you also want to receive, you want to know what other people think, what the people you care about, what people around you, and generally people. Because you honor their opinion and you honor their mind, and you're into collaboration naturally. Now something is different. Interesting, Libra. I really like this energy that I tapped into. It feels very owning of your own energy, powerful. That's actually magic. That's magic work. Knowing how to work with your energy, knowing what to say, when to say, knowing how to make sure that something that you're doing gets its fullest potential of success. Knowing when to share it, knowing when to protect it. It's an art form. Just like you need to know when to water a plant, or if it needs or does not need more or less sunshine. Everything you do requires different attitude, and you've learned that not all plants require the same amount of water, the same amount of sunlight exposure. Two of Cups. This is like the minor arcana for temperance, for balance, only it's temperance already achieved. I'm really taking this, I mean, yeah, we'll get to the romance, but I'm really taking this to the energy work that I just talked about. Maybe you're applying it on a relationship and how you communicate with your person or with your potential person, or a collaboration. I feel like I'm talking to Libras who've really who arrived to a place where they managed to find the sweet spot, the silver lining between their scales, the exact balance. It's like you learn how to walk the tightrope. Exactly how to hold your hands, where to look, how to move your legs. You used to either walk too fast or too slow, falling. And it was always like, I pray that this time I can walk the tightrope and get to the other end. But you still either walked too fast or too slow. Looked in other angles, not focused on one step at a time. But you prayed. I'm sensing that. And you're realizing that prayer is not enough. That the mechanics of your actions, of your movements, of your timing, if that doesn't work with the positivity, manifestation, it's part of manifestation. Manifestation is not just imagining, it's imagining and then applying, using the laws of physics to which you are, as a physical entity currently bound to. Yes, it's changing, frequency is rising, there's evolution for the body, and thus there's also evolution to the mind and to the spirit. We move differently. I just had a conversation about it with a good friend of mine yesterday about how we're both feeling like time is moving really, really fast. Like there's not enough hours of the day to do the things that we want to do. Not everyone is feeling it, by the way. There are people who feel the opposite, like time is moving slower, because the difference between the energy, the polarities are actually growing. I know we talk a lot about going into unity consciousness, but look at what goes on in the world right now. And if you're an actual empath, if you're an actual psychic, whatever, or simply, sensitive, extrasensory, sensitive to energies, energies are way more polar. And that's the irony, because one aspect of the polarity, the one that starts moving faster and accelerates, is going towards union consciousness. And the other part of the polarity is going even deeper and deeper to the separation, to the opposite of union consciousness. And ironically, they will inevitably meet somewhere again because it's all a cycle, right? So one spiral's there, one spiral's there. Seemingly it's to different directions, but everything works in cycles, in space, in Earth. Everything is circular, right? So there is no line in math. It's a made-up notion. Every line ends up starting to becoming a circle. So I don't know how long from now they will re-meet. But let's just say it's going to be a while. Because right now we're in the beginning of the intense... You're here on the union consciousness. Time moves faster for you, and you've already learned how to master better your energies and your actions. And it seems like your communication and your interactions are more harmonious. Things just kind of fall better into place. And this is not because you just say yes, yes, yes to everyone. It's not that type of harmony. That's not harmony. That's not knowing yourself. That's putting yourself in someone else as opposed to being a self and connecting to someone else. Two very different things. One matter disappearing in the other matter is not the same as one matter integrating with another matter, where they're meeting in the middle and kind of creates a new matter, a third thing. But if you get canceled and the other stays as only stronger but still self, and you disappeared, that's not unity. But you came from there. I feel like I'm just reiterating what you know, what you feel. Maybe giving you confirmation. Sorry. Let's keep going. I love this. Great start. Do you want to see me on the cover of a global magazine? And when I say me, I mean us, because wherever Morgane goes, the Existential Shift goes. Let's rock and roll this movement and have it reach to people that normally would not find themselves in this type of platform, listening to this type of talk, and help this acceleration get even more accelerated. Hi! King of Swords, Six of Pentacles. So there's a sense of generosity from someone who believes in you. Might be a patron, an investor, just a supportive family member, a boss, an influential figure in your space, a teacher, someone who wants to give you. The thing is, they are in the mindset of they're above you, thus they can give you. If you're accepting, make sure to have the, make sure to be clear about how. This is what people tend to not understand. I don't have to receive your gift. I don't have to receive your help. If I receive it, if I accept it, take it as a compliment. Do I look needy? Libra, do you look needy? Maybe you used to, not today. Maybe it's someone that remembers you as something different. I don't know. But make it very, very clear that if they are assisting you, helping you, giving you, it's because they want to and they're not doing you a favor. It's because you're willing to accept. And it doesn't mean that they own you now. When I say own you, people immediately go to like the extreme place of like sex doll or something like that. No. Own you, when someone thinks they own you, it could be like thinking that now they've given you something or assisted you with something. They have the go on contacting you regularly, and you just have to, you're just expected to answer, of course. That's not given. That's a business transaction. Ace of Wands in the reverse. So there might be someone who wants to give, but but then feels a little bit ripped off because they're not receiving back from you what they expected you to give back. And you're like, excuse me, I didn't sign up for it. Did I sign this contract that says that if you give me this, I give you that? You offered. So before you get to that point, make sure you are clear with your boundaries. And if you feel like they expect something you don't want to give, then you don't accept. Keep it simple, Libra, and don't overthink it. But it's not the only vibe I'm picking up on. There's also a good vibe here. It really all depends. I think it will vary between different Libras. Excuse me. Oh! Thank you. For those of you who said bless you. Bless you too, love. Sorry. Okay. Let me sip some water. You know, I just read about how atoms, who by the way form molecules, atoms form molecules, and molecules in turn form cells. Sorry, I'm still in the sneeze and in the water. So if you really dissect it, we're made of atoms that are actually made of elements, iron and such. Infinite amount of elements. And the reference was on how the actual elements that I just always took for granted to be part of Earth, right? I mean, I knew it in theory, but I didn't kind of make the connection. And I read there's a physicist who wrote it, and I forget his name, I'm so sorry, God, I hate doing that. But he wrote it in a very poetic, romantic way on how all the elements that make the atoms that make us are a result. They come from stars that exploded in space. So we're all stardust. We're all made of stardust. And you know, one part of you, your left hand, is made of has elements forming atoms from one star that exploded, and your right hand is from a different star that exploded, and basically you're just a pile of stardust from different stars in space. We're all stardust. And I find that to be, just the way he phrased it was so poetic. Science is so poetic. I mean, true science, not the kind they teach you in high school today. You know, quantum physics has been around for 100 years. They still, as far as I know anyway, I haven't been in high school for a while, but when I was in high school, which wasn't too long ago, they didn't teach you quantum physics in high school. They didn't teach it to you. And that's the thing that explains manifestation, by the way. How our emotions and our thoughts literally change and transform molecular structure. Yeah, you don't need someone else to heal your water or make it holy water. You can do it for yourself, but your intent needs to be holy. That's the thing. Holy intent creates holy water. But it's actually scientific. Think of how many people mock religious people for, you know, believing in holy water. And then in comes quantum physics and gives a scientific explanation, and there we go. There can be holy water, there can be disease water, there can be whatever intent you put in the water. That's what the water are. Unbelievable. I mean, believable, I believe it, but it's just... Dear cynical, be careful what and who you mock. There were people who mocked Galileo Galilei for saying that Earth is round and that we revolve around the sun and not the other way around. Very, very careful as to who and what you mock. I really like this reading. I mean, some people are gonna like, stop talking about space. I'm like, no. The Devil and Seven of Cups. Sexy. Right after the Ace of Wands in the reverse. This is some vampire energy. You're dealing with a vampire. Are you a vampire? Something dark, and something dark that is made of stardust. It's like where stardust meets black hole. The black holes are not evil, by the way. I find them to be a portal between universe, and there's the theory of the multiverse. So, hey, maybe there's a scientist out there checking exactly this, what I just said, and I don't know about it. I kind of hope so. I wish I was a physicist, and that I would be able to explore things like that. Astronomer. I would love to be able to check if, my theory about black holes being portals between universes. My theory actually goes deeper. I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm actually writing about it now. So, anyway, back to the Devil and the Seven of Cups. So, the regular read will say someone that is very manipulative, deceitful, possibly narcissistic, but in like the extreme position of it. Delusions, self-deceit, outer deceit, addiction. There's something with possibly BDSM, like the dark spaces of sex. There's something about control, like dom and submissive, things like that. So I don't know if any of you is dealing with something like that. But you want to make sure why you're there. If that's your situation, you want to do a self-check as to, are you there because of childhood trauma, or are you there because you truly dig it? What's the difference? Everything we love and don't love is like somehow a result of what we went through in childhood, which is somehow a result of what our soul chose to deal with in this lifetime. So it created this reality in our childhood, so we will keep recycling it and experiencing it as adults. We could learn the things we need to learn, experience the things we need to experience. So, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Either way, you're there. Should you still be there? Four of Pentacles. This tells me it's out of fear. Now let's go back to other scenarios that are more likely. Because when I see the Devil and the Four of Pentacles, especially next to the Seven of Cups, this is someone who is extremely controlling, extremely possessive, demanding, wants to control someone. Very stalker energy. Very you're mine kind of thing. Ew. No, I'm not. There's no healthy understanding of reciprocity. To them, whoever they're obsessed with is something to own, something to have, something to achieve. They don't even look at that person as a free entity that wants what it wants or doesn't want what it doesn't want, right? It's completely up to them to convince the other that, or to educate the other as to why they're supposed to be together and why they are theirs. And it's like, right, because I got confused because I don't know what I want or what I don't want. I need you to tell me. Bottom of the deck, the Hangman and the Emperor. Two polar experiences to different Libras right now. Some Libras are dealing with a masculine, or maybe you're the masculine Libra, but some feminines are dealing with a masculine who is very much so a wonderful entity. Very leader, very powerful, very wise, open-minded, knows how to lead while also looking at other perspectives and listen to the people kind of thing. And then there's the other one that they're dealing with that is extremely controlling, possessive, possibly corrupt and dangerous. Now, I don't know if it's like a romantic dealing or if it's like a leader in your environment or a boss. That could be either this or that for different Libras. But this just kind of emphasized to me how readings might start getting really, really split for different energies. I'm not saying one is good and one is bad, and I'm not shaming you if you're dealing with something negative. It's just a stage of the journey. Because as you are possibly dealing with this, in a parallel universe, same you is dealing with this. And you can choose to jump timelines. No, it's not that you're disappearing from this world and finding yourself, like the movies. In this body, in this experience, in this life of yours, you can just transmute the experience, change it completely. Because again, it's similar energy of power. These are both powerful men. But they take it into different direction. I want you to be, for you, on the timeline that deals with this. If you're a masculine, that you're on that path, and that you're on this path. If you're a feminine, that you're dealing with this type of masculine. The third option is someone is going to undergo a massive transformation. There's going to be a turning point in their life throughout this month that will transform them and will take them from some sort of down the hill kind of inertia. So how do I use it in a sentence? They were driving really, really fast in the wrong direction, right? So it's almost inevitable to know where it leads to. You just do the math of the speed and the direction. But something almost miraculous manages to make them change the perspective completely. And if that's the case, I really hope so. But more likely, it's just two different energies. Someone is going through a major power struggle with themselves and with their environment and in their relationships. Someone might be expressing that they are in love and present while playing, like living a whole other lifestyle and other worlds simultaneously. I would not be surprised if there's like someone who's married or in a very serious committed relationship, but also they have a family somewhere. It's coming up a little bit. I'm sorry. Obviously not for most of you. Okay, 20 minutes in. Let's continue talking, and then I'll explain to you further about what I said about the magazine and also into animal spirit. Oh, beautiful Libra. Thank goodness. I mean, the Emperor and the Empress. If you're new to tarot, if you're new to this type of readings, the Emperor and the Empress are the embodiment of divine masculine and divine feminine. They are the natural counterparts, right? It's Zeus and Demeter, the god and goddess of life and of all the gods, and yada yada. There's some sort of massive transformation happening throughout the month that puts you on that path, Libra. So, if you feel like you're on this path, be ready for some uncomfortable interaction with someone that might potentially try to drag you back to something else that you were a part of that you no longer are. Or it's a part of you that is tempted to go back. For example, if you're an addict, there might be a temptation to go back. But something kind of, I almost want to say, saves you from it, from whatever it is. It's some sort of you're taking a really strong stance, undergoing a struggle with yourself, and you're winning. You're defeating the demon. You had a reading a few months back. It was called Dancing with the Devil in the Middle of the Room. And I feel like now this devil is coming to like hey, remember me kind of thing. And then that's your moment of choice. No, that's your moment of action. And it will come from the gut. You'll instinctually know what to do, what to say, how to deal. And that will tell you where you're at on this path of expansion that we're undergoing. And it will put you, making the right call, will put you here. There's some really beautiful relationship. I won't be surprised if you're in a committed, loving relationship, there's 2 of Cups here. You might feel throughout June that you guys want to take it to the next level, become more serious. For some reason, there might be a technical thing that will require you to wait, either on moving in together or getting engaged or getting married, whatever that stage is, or even just becoming becoming exclusive. Whatever the next stage is for you, it's like there's a strong decision to do so, and then possibly the need to wait a little bit or to hold on a little bit. Something with Neptune and Capricorn energy here is coming up, like needing to first get through that energy. I feel like for a lot of signs there's a similar theme, and I think like by mid-June things are going to be like, it's going to be like this, and then there's going to be a little bit of a down the hill, more like a test of spirit. And then towards Cancer season, towards end of June, July, people already, according to the decisions or how they've dealt with June, they now like really know where they're at on their journey. You could be dealing with your parents, by the way. Okay, there we go. King of Cups and Ace of Cups. This is amazing. Okay, so someone offers you love, genuine, true, heartfelt love. And look at this. We have King of Cups and Ace of Cups. That's how we end the reading. And we start with King of Swords, 2 of Cups. It's very interesting. Hold on. Yeah, I think someone will give you a genuine offer of like wanting to take things to the next level. Like a real heartfelt expression of love. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what it is that I'm picking up on. It's interesting because, sorry, if you're new, it happens to me sometimes, so bear with me. Someone is making a choice. Someone that had a lot of options or more than one option is making a choice, and they're approaching whoever, like they're realizing, someone is realizing that either you or the opposite, maybe you're realizing about someone else that, okay, you're my empress or you're my emperor kind of thing. And it took them time for it to dawn on them because they were undergoing all of this, like some really challenging emotional roller coaster where they didn't feel good about themselves. But it feels like they're gaining a lot of inner strength, and back on their track, and that allows them to honestly just be more in tune with how they feel. That's beautiful, Libra. It's a genuine love offer from the heart, and I just want to show it to you for a second. We will look into it deeper in the extended, which is a special love reading, a look into you and your person of interest. It's called a double pentagram, and we will see deeper into the dynamic and the interaction, what goes on, and where it leads to. Okay, and you can find it on Patreon and on Vimeo. On Patreon, you can find it as unlimited streaming of all the extendeds for this month and past months, and on Vimeo you can purchase separately. Up to you, but I would love to have you join my Patreon community. So check it out if you feel like it. You can also study tarot with me. I have an online tarot masterclass. There's a lot of fun stuff in the description box. So I'm going to do animal spirit right now for you guys, but first, so I won't forget, sometimes, it almost slips my mind. Hey Seeker. So I'm nominated to be on the cover of Maxim magazine, which is a global magazine, and it will grant me an amazing prize that will give me great financial ease and allow me to do this with will just be easier for me to do this. I give you, if you're new and you're not familiar, for the past 2.5 years, I've been creating at least 13 hours of free content every month for all the signs here on YouTube. And I've been doing a lot of giving and guiding. And so if today or at any other time I have inspired you, guided you, taught you, entertained you, anything, and you feel inclined to have some super easy reciprocity, I need you to put us as the Existential Shift, as this movement, on the cover and help me reach young women and men who look up or look at, actresses, models, influencers, a certain way, and kind of add the X factor to it. The spiritual awareness, the expansion of consciousness, the existential shift. We can do it together. All you need to do is press the link below in the description box and then press vote. That's it. It's really, really incredibly easy. Very easy. Okay? And I need you to do that for me every day. Every 24 hours it gets resets. It gets a reset, I'm sorry. So you just press the button and you're on the joyride of putting the existential shift on the cover. It will give me a photo shoot with Jill Ben Simone as well. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a lot of fun. All the information is there. Okay guys, I really appreciate the support. I've had an amazing response so far from the videos that I've posted from my seekers, who were so encouraging and so supportive and so like, yeah, let's do this. And it's like, it's very Nicole Arbor Go Team kind of thing, and she's involved with this project. She says, be hot, be sexy, and be something else, but be something else too. And that's the theme of the magazine, and that's why I'm there, because of that theme of being something else too. The Divine Feminine is Venusian, is gorgeous on the outside, but she's also a badass Amazon on the inside. So let's spread that word, huh? Okay. You guys are awesome. Thank you. So, animal spirit. Ooh. Speaking of Divine Feminine that roars, tiger. Libra. Nice. One more. And nightingale. Huh. I need one more. Earthworm. I'll show you. We have earthworm, nightingale, tiger. Libra, some of you out there have some kind of a predator in your midst. And I think that kind of circles back to how we started this reading about how you're working with your energy, what you choose to talk about, what you don't choose to talk about. Just be mindful as to who you tell what when it comes to your success, when it comes to your goals. Be strategic. Okay? Be strategic, because not everybody mean well, and you might be doing something from a very clean, open-hearted place, and someone is taking note and kind of wants it for themselves. And usually when I look at this tiger and this spirit animal deck, you saw how I responded when it came out, very like divine, feminine, powerful, occultist, spiritualist type of energy. But this time I'm picking up envy. I'm picking up on envy from someone who thinks that they can have it or thinks they should have it. And it kind of stirs up, it's really stirring in them. They're like really feeling it, and it makes them aware of themselves kind of thing. Like this could be someone who considered themselves very high and mighty, but then they discover that they have issues of resentment and jealousy, and you're triggering that in them by you're not rubbing it in their face. You're not doing anything spiteful. You're just being awesome you. So take note on that. Be careful to not be that, because energies are always, you can always, reverse them. So if this is you, right? If this is the little devil in you that wakes up because of maybe wanting something, right? Wanting something, and you're realizing, wow, that's me, that's the energy in me. So it could be you, or it could be someone around you. It really depends on the situation. For those of you that feels like it's them, it's something that has been within you for a very, very long time that you've suppressed. Okay, so take note on that. And if it's someone around you, this will be a part of the message in the beginning to teach you how to be smart about who you share your words with. Now, this could be something that already happened, because we have it already on the table. Not necessarily. Some of you not. Some of you, yeah. Someone wants something that someone else has, and they feel like they're just, it should be theirs, and it's like, it's not. No, it's not. This earthworm shows us that it comes from a very low frequency place, very parasitic type of energy. It's like I'm picking up on someone like, why should she or why should he have that or do that? I can do that. I should do that. And it's like they almost like have their wheels in their brain are like already planning on how to take it, or how they can do it better, or how they should do it. And it's like, you see it a lot, especially in the age of social media, where people just make an entire channel or an entire Insta profile, whatever, that is someone else's work. Some of them don't even bother to tag or give credit, but a lot of them do tag and give credit, but their entire content is something that other people said or created. And it's like, so they're making a mountain on the foundation of someone else. But here's the thing, here's what happens. Someone does the foundations, the truth of the matter, the content, the creation, the original thought, whatever. And they're building the mountain on top of it. Now in comes someone that wants to use that same foundation and build their own mountain. So they're here, right? They can't move that mountain, because in essence, it's where its source is. So they kind of put themselves on it and try to build, but there's no room here because the other person is already building, right? It's theirs. So what happens to their creation is as it grows on someone else's foundation, it kind of takes an angle because it has no room. It takes an angle, and that's like the Pisa Tower, right, in Pisa, Italy, where it's crooked, or it's like it's what's the word? It's book for it's textbook for like the Babylonian tower, or like the tower and the tarot, where it's going to collapse. So they'll have somewhat of success based on that, but then it will be a major drop. It's just the energy of doing something like that. Those types of channels or those types of profiles, whatever, they have like a temporary seeming success, and then whew, the only way for them to actually succeed in that is if the original person who created something stops building or retrieves, and then they seemingly have room to kind of take over that space of where they were building towards. So if someone is doing that to you, all you have to do, don't worry, all you have to do is keep doing what you're doing, keep building what you're building, keep creating what you're creating, keep achieving whatever it is you're aspiring to achieve, and they can try as much as they want to sail on your boat. It won't work energetically, but just be mindful of that. And if you're doing that, my advice is to not find yourself, find your voice, your true voice, your true creativity, or your place, your success, your job thing. Let's say you've discovered that someone is going for a really amazing position or something that they can really succeed with, and you're like, oh, I should have this position, or I should be competing for that, or I should be doing that. It's like, your place exists. Find that. Okay? All right. I will see you in a second in your double pentagram, you and your person of interest extended. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, please be sure to subscribe and press the bell button. And thank you once again for your daily votes. I highly appreciate it. Once you do, don't forget to comment that you did so I can give you a great shout out and a thank you. Okay? Mwah.